always like when, your favorite singer, okay, whoever it is, they hit this amazing note, like, ah. Now consider that note just goes, ah, for like a half hour. It's not that nice anymore because it's not special. It was too much.
Imagine Dragons on stage is what you're saying versus the studio.
Perhaps that is not a bad metaphor.
Jim is doing his ultimate Gover right now.
Go see the movie, then come join us and talk about it. This is the Untitled Film Project Podcast, and today we're talking about the movie If, as in imaginary friends. A young girl begins to see the world's imaginary friends that the rest of real-life grown-ups have forgotten all about.
We've started a matchmaking agency to help Ifs find new kids.
Or we just disappear.
And even if you haven't seen If, you'll probably want to get in on the big question coming up, which is, if you could only watch one actor's filmography for the rest of your life, whose would you choose? This is kind of a desert island kind of question. Yep. Mm-hmm. So think about it. Find your actors, just one, who you could live with on a desert island watching all their movies. Okay? You get nothing else. So make it good. So If, a John Krasinski film written, directed for his daughter. What do we think?
If you want a film that gives you some warm fuzzies, that's going to tear at your heartstrings, that is going to just make you feel the entire time waiting for a moment of just something bad to happen as well because you just can't take it anymore, but also having running gags, great physical humor, a beautiful score by Michael Giacchino, then I think If is going to be for you. I think this is one of those films that is a great family film, plenty of emotion, but plenty of humor for adults and children alike. It has some great performances, especially from Cailey Fleming. I really enjoyed the performance of the young Cailey Fleming. Just her depth,
she's impressive,
her emotion, and so much, especially in some long takes as well. I really enjoyed her performance. Ryan Reynolds is just great at physical comedy as well. Then you get John Krasinski in there, just having a little bit of the humor element as well too, and thinking that we're going to get another horror side of John Krasinski later on in the year. But I'm really liking what John Krasinski is doing. I think this is very imaginative. It was creative. There are just so many good elements in here that makes you want to think and makes you want to feel empathetic, but also feel some hope and joy for the future, and make you want to feel like a little kid again, but also understand what it means to grow up and understand sadness and hope as well. I really did enjoy the film, and I'm glad I did because I've been looking forward to it since the first trailer. Some moments, I will say really quick, in the trailer, I really wish would not have been in the trailer because they would have hit even better in the film. And we get it. Per usual, we get it. Sometimes you have to have a hook, right? There are plenty of other moments in the film that were not in the trailer that made me really giggle. But there are some things that I know they had to put in the trailer I wish they would have left out because it really would have hit big in the theater.
Nice initial take.
Thank you.
Well thought out. I have to say there is so much in this movie to like, but it's a mess. I'm giving the unpopular initial take.
Okay.
Still have Gover.
There's a lot of really good stuff in here, and a lot of what you said is true. But at the same time, I'm going to throw this on John Krasinski. This script needed cleaning up, and it was kind of a mess. And there were times where I was left confused. And it wasn't just the things where, okay, there's something going on, but it's going to be revealed later in the movie. It's just like there was too much not connected, and I was left missing some of the joy and the sweetness of this movie and the comedy, because I'm sitting there going, well, wait a second. Why isn't this 12-year-old girl asking Ryan Reynolds' character, well, why can he see all these creatures like I can? And I'm constantly having those questions that I thought, like, okay, if you just had connected a few dots and were a little more disciplined, John, you would have had a lot better movie. So that's my initial take of If.
Okay, I can see it. I think you have some fair points, Jim.
And I'll flesh it out a little bit. But Gover, what did you think?
What do you have, a-hole?
Of Well, by the way, there's several kid actors in this movie, so Goer could be going off.
Oh, we're getting to that.
Just a little bit of warning. I was thinking in the movie, oh my God, there's a bunch of kid actors. What's he going to think? What's your initial take?
My initial take is that this is the sweetest movie of 2024. It's an emotional roller coaster of sorts. I'm just sad that I saw the twist coming in the first 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Again, we won't spoil it for you yet. Again, go watch, come listen.
We'll
but in the next segment, we're going to spoil some stuff. So this is the safe zone. Welcome.
Right.
But after the next guitar break, you're on your own.
Danger zone.
We're ripping the lid right off of this movie.
So, honestly, it's the sweetest movie of 2024. I can't think of a sweeter premise. This makes me feel... Hold on a second, because I'm not comparing the two. But this makes me feel like Toy Story made me feel.
Oh, okay.
Where in 95, I'm in the theater, I'm watching these toys come to life when Andy's not, when there's no humans looking. And I am immediately transported back to when I was a kid and I thought my toys did that. I actually had the thought all the time of, when I went to school, do my stuffed animals hang out? Like, do my He-Man play with my Transformers? And,
right.
Does my Garfield that's clung on the window of my bedroom, does that come alive and like talk to people?
Does
He certainly didn't sound like Chris Pratt, that's for sure.
No, he did not. He talked like the original Garfield.
Yes.
My point is that If made me feel like Toy Story did in 95 because it unlocked the imagination, the just fantastical childhood naivete that movie did. So again, not comparing the two. Toy Story 1 is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Right.
It's one of the few movies I've given a 10. It's in rare air. But I'm not calling If Toy Story.
But the feelings
I'm saying that
came out from
yes. Right.
Totally get it. Totally
yeah. I get it.
You are not an a-hole.
Oh, thank you.
Yet. All right, let's dive a little deeper. And warning, spoilers, who cares? We're saying everything. Things are revealed. I'm going to ask.
You're no longer in the safe zone.
I'm going to ask questions because I didn't understand a lot of it. I really did feel dumb in some spots.
Really?
Dumb?
Because I thought, okay, is everybody else getting something that I'm not? And maybe
obviously,
yes, I think so.
Yes.
So I'm just going to admit I was dumb.
We need you to reconnect, Jim.
Let's sort through it. What were you confused about? Let's start there. Maybe that can kind of kick off the discussion.
All right. One of the things, this is not have anything to do with the script.
That's a good place to start.
The soundtrack to this movie was relentlessly, overtly, saccharinely sweet, trying to tell you by beating you over the head.
I'll give you that.
This is a classic. Like every single second, there's like a xylophone or a harp playing or swelling of violin. Like they're just walking down a hallway. This isn't like, not everything is magical, and maybe that's the point that I missed. But I mean, like even just scenes that, like in the beginning of the movie, that didn't have anything connected to it, were made to seem like, oh, this is just so sweet. I like my teeth hurt.
Jim, your Cheerios.
It was so distracting.
No.
It was distracting.
I'm not going to let you do that to the score and to the soundtrack to this, because it's setting a scene, it's setting a moment that is supposed to be whimsical and magical.
Oh, no.
the music guy.
No. They did set, but they never stopped. It's like somebody.
Because the whole movie is drawing emotion from it. And even if you're walking through the hospital, hospitals are drab, dreary, scary places for a lot of children. So maybe they're walking down the hall there. They're trying to make it, beef it up a little bit more too, to say that there's positive things happening here. This
is like when, your favorite singer, okay, whoever it is, they hit this amazing note, like, ah. Now consider that note just goes, ah, for like a half hour. It's not that nice anymore because it's not special. You have to let us breathe a little bit. and then bring back the swelling music for things that matter. If everything is super sentimental and sweet, including, I don't know, opening an envelope that has nothing to do with the story, it was too much.
Imagine Dragons on stage, is what you're saying, versus the studio.
Perhaps
That's
that
what
is
you're
not a bad metaphor. I
Jim
like
is
it.
doing his ultimate Gover right now.
Well, the thing, I'm a little mad because there's so much stuff that like
I
that
understand why
were
you're so
good.
mad. Of all the things you're attacking the music, I thought it was a beautiful score.
It was.
I think what he's saying is it was beautiful, but it was
You don't
nonstop.
You don't have the music at 10 through the entire film.
because then it's no longer by definition at 10.
I never felt that.
Okay.
I did not feel that because they interspliced it too without score. They put soundtrack in there as well, some classic songs as well. And
There was. Those were a
pull it.
pleasant surprise. They were like a palate cleanser.
Little Tina Turner, a little Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
little classical.
All right. So I'll stop talking in a second. I want to also put, I'll put in something nice because I'm trying to do like a little good, a little bad, right?
You're sandwiching, okay.
Okay. That's like helps the medicine go down. There were some great running gags in this movie. Keith, the invisible friend
great.
that is truly invisible, that not the audience or the invisible friends can see. A great gag. Oh my God, it was fantastic.
Physical humor behind it too.
And it kept coming back at just the spot where you didn't expect it, and then it hits you, and so like great comedic points there.
And stay for the credits to find out who plays Keith. We're just going to leave
Yes.
that one alone.
Yeah.
That's for you. Enjoy.
You have to watch the credits.
You have to watch the
Don't look
credits.
down at your phone.
Find out.
Watch the credits.
Right.
Don't have to stay 20 minutes. You'll see it pretty quickly.
It's actually
in
pretty
the
short credits too.
Yeah, you'll see it fast.
And it's one of the first ones. So, yeah, enjoy who plays Keith.
Okay, so did anybody else have something they would like to pile onto or praise? Please save me here.
Alan Kim sucked. He was,
This is the child
played-
in the hospital who has like brittle bone syndrome, I'm guessing, and he's
And Gover just attacked
he
him.
just attacked him. I
sorry,
love
he
it.
doesn't really have broken
He's
bone
a
syndrome.
child.
He was
I
terrible.
don't-
He's a
You're
child.
right.
Hire a better
Hospital.
child. It's not an indictment on Alan Kim. I'm sure he's fine. He's actually, by the way, been nominated for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. So clearly he's doing fine.
can do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My point though is that the casting agency has to hire a better child actor. This is a kid who is bedridden, who is supposed to invoke both sadness,
Yeah.
but naivete, happiness.
Right.
He's just like, I
like the-
happen to fall all the time. Hey, I'll see you soon. Like all this. It's like, okay.
He
it's supposed to be
chooses to look on the bright side of
Yes,
life.
Yeah, there are plenty of actors that can do that. Alan Kim is not one of them. It was a massive dry spot for me.
It stood out as
It
pretty
was
bad.
pretty horrible. Luckily, his the main child co-star
Cailey Fleming
was incredible.
Yeah.
And she lifted those scenes every time. So,
Okay.
yeah, not good.
It's been a bit. It's been a bit before
Sorry.
he's attacked a child.
a sick child in the hospital. I love it.
Gover attacks sick child.
It's prime Gover. It's Gover squared.
Do you realize what the clickbait sites are going to put on?
I'm not
if they actually
apologizing for
listen to our podcast.
I'm not apologizing. It was not good.
Well, it's too late to apologize.
You don't have to.
no, I can always cut it.
But
I'm not.
but never. Okay, now do what I did. You have to because you did say there was a lot of things you really liked about this movie.
Oh yeah, no, everything else.
So let's.
Everything else except for the
Except
one
Alan
child.
Kim.
Okay, that was it.
And I keep naming it by the way.
It is Asian Pacific Highlander Heritage Month, Gover.
Oh, in that case, he only did kind of bad.
Okay.
Put some respect on Alan Kim.
I'm sure he's whatever. Okay, I'll say this. The good news. I thought for sure John Krasinski was going to die.
Me too. That's what I was waiting for.
His character. I was
waiting
waiting
for
John
that moment.
Krasinski. His character.
I was waiting for the up moment.
Yes.
The rip your heart out. moment.
That's that. It looked like they were building towards that the whole time.
Oh God,
It
yeah.
definitely did.
And it was nice in a way. It was nice to see that he didn't die. There's a redeeming thing there. Again, you're in the spoiler zone, so too bad. If you haven't seen the movie yet, it's nice. It's nice to know that he didn't. But at the same time, I feel like it's convenient.
No. No,
So-
that would have been, we were emotional the whole way. Or
No,
as Jim
no.
says, we were at a 10
That's
the
why.
entire time.
That's why I don't take points off for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was great.
Like, we got the
think
emotional speech from the daughter as well.
Which, by the way, mad props for that.
because a lot of it was
That's a monologue,
and
everybody.
it was one take.
yeah,
Or one cut.
Oh, no,
sorry.
one
Yeah,
cut.
One shot.
Yes,
one shot.
cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that right there, the emotional
Amazing.
brevity of oh my
Amazing.
gosh, yeah,
She was
great.
She was so good.
Cailey Fleming will be on my Music City Film Critics Association ballot for Best Young
I
Actor.
agree. I was already
Period.
thinking that too. Yeah.
John Krasinski, who wrote this movie, I think poorly wrote his character because, okay, here he is, the father of our main character, the 12-year-old girl, and he's in the hospital. He looks great.
He does look great.
He is dancing. He's doing props. He looks fantastic. He's never wearing hospital garb, even though he's the patient.
He's hiding in a closet.
Okay, he's hiding in closets. He's doing all these silly things, which I think you could still do, but look like you're the patient. Okay, he's the most like energetic person who could die, and then the only time he slightly looks ill, and it really looks more like he's sleeping, is when they're afraid he's going to die, and she gives that monologue. He still looks very healthy, and boom, he wakes up. Next scene, he's carrying all this stuff down the stairs. I mean, he's super healthy again. It's like nothing ever
You can
happened.
jump time a little bit there at the
I
end. There,
just-
Jim. Now, are you saying that people that might be on their deathbed have to look like they're on their deathbed, even though internally
Look like you
they
should be in the hospital, not like you're laying back to
No,
get shaved at the barber.
But it was an internal issue that all the time is not going to be shown physically on the outside.
No,
as
what
well.
he's saying is that for movie dramatic effect,
I get that.
Yeah,
you get a sickly individual.
yeah,
to
maybe
play that part.
their hair's
Would have
not
been
perfect.
overdone. His hair wasn't perfect.
But actually, speaking of which, did we ever find out what he was sick from?
No.
Okay, so
I'm
make sure I didn't miss
assuming
that.
it was more.
It was like a heart
It was
issue.
a heart issue.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
it was like
Well, they said broken heart.
Yeah, and he had like
The
a
mom had passed.
right.
and he had the broken heart shirt on, and
So it doesn't always. You're not always seeing those things too.
right.
No, sure.
With heart.
Okay.
It's not like cancer, leukemia, things like that where
Right.
it's draining your body.
I know, but I think for the movie that's at this level, just at least make him look sick. Make him look like he doesn't want to be there. Like, I know he was
He's also
doing
trying to
everything
put on a face for his daughter.
for his daughter. I know, but it just
Jim, I gotta accuse you of nitpicking.
No.
I don't think it was
I think that's
nitpicking.
nitpicking.
I think he just put a hospital gown on him. Like, just looked like he was a tourist in the hospital. But
Honestly,
anyway.
that would have helped a ton.
Yeah.
Just that bridged
Just
the
a
gap.
hospital
All,
gown.
the
Yeah.
one little thing that would indicate
guys.
he was in character as somebody in the hospital.
Guys, come on.
What? These movies are big budget films with set design people and costume directors and all. And you telling me that we're just going to give them a pass?
I'm not a pass.
On
I'm
the
saying it's not that
emotional
big of a deal.
I'm
it was
just-
emotional enough.
Well-
you couldn't feel it? You
Right.
want a hospital
No.
gown?
Then how much could it have gone if he actually looked like he was supposed to be in the hospital and
It
sick?
gave me enough.
You know what? Like I wonder, like, okay, he's a writer, he's a director, he's doing a lot of stuff, he's a really busy guy. I don't have time for wardrobe changes. I'm calling the shots on the set. Let me just lay down on the hospital bed and I'll do my scene and then I'll get back up again in the same clothes I was wearing and continue. Maybe that's the reason he didn't have time.
It's like you guys want to get hate comments just
No.
for the algorithm.
No. We want authenticity, damn it.
All right, Bradford, you give us something
So how
you didn't
often are you in a
like.
hospital to know that people that may be having surgery aren't wearing street clothes?
Like every
Either
time I've
laying
been
in
in
a
a
bed
hospital.
for days on end in their jeans and a
He's getting
flannel
treatment
shirt.
before it.
What?
He's getting treatment before it as well. You got the IV in there and everything too.
Well, you can do that in a
You don't
bed.
have to be bedridden.
He's not visiting the doctor. He's in the hospital.
Yes, preparing for
Right.
surgery, but that doesn't mean you're wearing a hospital gown bedridden all day.
No, bedridden, I'll give you
Bedridden,
that.
no.
But a gown,
I
definitely.
wanted to look
Yeah.
sickly.
It's like if you cast a soldier in a movie in the middle of a fight and he's storming, the beach, and he's wearing a clown costume.
That's
He needs to
not
be in a
the same
uniform.
thing at all.
Just put him in a uniform. It's just normal.
That's
Okay, that was a little bit of a reach.
a little.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to the big question, we have to give scores to the movie if Imaginary friends.
I'm going last.
Okay.
Fine. I'll go first.
Hit it, Gover.
As I said before, If is the sweetest movie of 2024. The story gives the audience a glimpse into their long-forgotten childhood. And bring Kleenex. You're going to need it. 8.0.
All right. That's pretty high. I have to go because Bradford called last. Okay. Now, I did have like a lot of problems with like logic and, there was a bunch of things that I had problems with. But there were so many good things in this movie, too. I don't know what you're saying. I'm pushing it out. But I'm going to say this. All right. I'm going to give artistic credit instead of criticism and say, okay, these things where connections are not made and stuff didn't make sense. If you look at this movie the way a kid does, which I think maybe was the intention, that those questions that I was trying to have answered in my head don't matter. It's just roll with it. Okay. So maybe the problem is me. I didn't want to go Taylor Swift on us, but okay. So given that, my score would be different, but I'm still going to give it a 6.5 for just being a kind of a continuity mess. I wish you could have fixed it, but they didn't. 6.5.
It's not terrible, actually.
It's not terrible. I was kind of expecting a little lower with it.
Because there's so many good things in it.
Okay, so you did feel through it.
I did. It was
and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what?
Right. And then I got, distracted by some huge question that I had.
Jim literally went, WTF, mate?
Yeah.
Fire's in this house.
I will say, just real quick, John Krasinski, when he made this movie, he could do whatever he wants. He's got cred in Hollywood. He's earned his place to kind of do whatever he wants. But he needed a little more discipline in connecting some things, and just because I think it would have been a super strong movie if he had done that. It was like, okay, make the best candy bar, but he went into the shop with all the ingredients and put all of them into a candy bar, and it tastes terrible.
Kind of like what a kid would do.
What a kid would do. Yes.
And a kid would really enjoy that too.
Yeah, they probably would. So, I'm going to be the grown-up in the room.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, well,
Bradford.
I hope you find your imagination again, Jim.
Yeah, I hope I do too.
That's out the window. So, I want to pose a question before I get to my score to you guys. What is one of your fondest childhood memories? Think back. What's something you think back just makes you smile, even if it was a brief moment, if something that happened to you, a gift you received, something at a sporting event or a concert, something. What makes you smile when you think about it?
I went home after school every day and made my own baseball cards.
I love that. I love it.
I cut.
That's awesome.
You know those reflective folders they would sell? Mm-hmm. And little designs and stuff on them? I measured out a baseball card size. I'd cut a whole folder out into those sizes, and then I'd put pictures from magazines on them, and then I would number them on the back, put stats on them, and I would create my own baseball cards. That's really cool. That was mine.
Mine was really kind of artistic too. It was making something. I remember my friends being over, and everybody went through the closet at home and brought old shoe boxes, and we had construction paper and Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars, and we would make towns. We would take the boxes and then turn them into what would this be? This would be a hamburger stand, and we'd make this town all over the room, and we'd spend all day, and then we barely ever played in it, but it was making this town, and we just had a blast. It was so cool.
So, since I'm a little bit younger than Jim, I took that to the next level, and I had micro machines.
Oh yeah.
And I would make my town, especially on a day home from school, it was a snow day or something, I'd make a city. And then what I would do, oh boy, this is exposing me a lot. I would take the 8mm camera.
Hey.
And then I would make helicopter noises and do traffic reports.
I love that.
But then,
That's awesome.
Then an Alien, which was the yardstick, would come and start attacking the city.
The yardstick, you say.
You'd have in front of the and you would look like the tentacle from the alien attacking and smashing the city. And then I would go set the camera up on a tripod and then go to the news desk and do a report as the reporter.
I love all of this.
This is so
reporting on the alien attack and then go to weather and sports.
That's fantastic. I think we're also media oriented. I think we've all got similar things, if not.
I do remember there was one time I did it and I forgot I didn't have shorts on. Just me in my underwear and a t-shirt. Like 11 years old. I watched back and was like, well, I can't show anybody this one. I forgot to put pants on.
Did a grown-up make you take this movie? I'm sorry. That was so sweet.
I love everything about that. So that's something I would have done.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I loved it. I loved it so much. Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted
With pants.
I just wanted
There's
to
a
bring
great
up,
joke about the banana not wearing pants in the
yes.
movie. It's great.
Which is also in the trailer, unfortunately.
I just wanted to rehash some memories because I think what overall this movie is going to accomplish, depending on where you're at, even if you don't necessarily love it, it still rehashes some emotions and some memories, some things like that make you feel. And it's good. Like Gover said, the sweetest film. It's good sometimes to have a movie that makes you feel, but not pain or make you emotional, because I think if John Krasinski's character would have died, I would have walked out of the going, I would have been drained.
It was Sucker Punch. That would have been just like,
I would have been drained.
It would have been
That's
too
good.
much.
Even though I would have understood and it still would have probably made its point, they would have found a way to twist it to make a point and everything as well.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't, because I would have felt drained. And I don't want to feel drained at the end. If you drain like in some Pixar movies or things like that, or it's at the beginning like in Up or something
Right.
like that, then they can bring you back up through positivity. The entire film making you laugh. Can't have that at the end. I really felt so much, and there's so much emotion. I was on the verge of crying so much because I was feeling plenty. I just wasn't in the right moment to necessarily cry because we're all kind of scrunched in there.
Yeah.
I didn't have the space.
We were in sardines.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
But I felt so much and felt so much imagination through this. And what made me smile is knowing that someone had to come up with these ideas. And the creativity behind it, even if for Jim it wasn't fully executed well, appreciating the art behind it and what someone was able to do and come up with, that is a fresh idea, a new idea, which people complain all the time. When's Hollywood going to come up with something new? This is something new. It's something really unique. There may be other tropes that we see throughout it, right? But having the whole help these imaginary friends find their kid or find the new kid or matchmake them, and then connect that with loss, potential loss, and the twist at the end as well. There's something new. And I think families, again, like I keep saying, are going to really appreciate the film and love it. I already want to see it again because I know there's little bits and gags in the background. It's a Ryan Reynolds movie and John Krasinski. There's going to be more Easter eggs because we're trying to read things on the bulletin boards. It happens so quickly. There's so many things that I want to go back and find those Easter eggs because with those people involved in it, there's going to be plenty. The cast is full of Easter eggs.
Absolutely.
Like, don't go to, if you have not seen this yet and you're still listening, don't go to IMDb before you watch this.
Either of those sites.
Be surprised. Be surprised with the film, with the voices, because you're not going to be able to name all of them. Some of them will be familiar, but then when you watch the credits, it's going to be a pleasant surprise.
It's more
Especially
fun.
Keith.
It's more fun that way.
It's way more fun that way. So, that being said, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for more people to see it. Just on my post of saying we are at a screening of this, so much interaction. There is buzz around it because I think people are excited to take their families to something that they know is not a children's movie, but a family movie. And I think that's why there's some hype around it as well, too.
And Ryan Reynolds is hot right now.
Right.
Because Deadpool's about to come out.
So hot right now.
We're so hot.
Yeah,
because Deadpool's about to come out, and now he's going to hit us twice, basically, in a matter of months. In the feels.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I also, like Gover, give it an 8.0. Oh, yeah. Shock face, Jim.
We wanted to know if you could watch one actor's filmography, all the movies they made, but that's it for the rest of your life. Whose would you choose?
Bradford, you had one cocked and ready earlier, and because I've stolen yours twice.
No. I want to go last because I do.
Oh, you do want to go last?
I prefer, or middle. I don't want to go first. I'd love Gover to go first.
All right,
great.
Gover, you get to kick things off.
All right.
Steal it again.
Tell us that
I
actor.
don't think I'm going to. All right, so I'm going to go Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Now,
Because you'd be entertained.
Right. So here's why. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio's got a bunch of great films.
Right.
some of them aren't rewatchable for me, right?
I thought he was going to say Alan King.
No. Like The Beach, okay? Like, I don't need to watch that again. So, what's Eating Gilbert Grape? Same thing. Don't need to watch them again. Johnny Depp's got a lot of great movies, like Benny and June, Pirates of the Caribbean, but then you got to watch all the rest of the Pirates of the Caribbean, which I don't care about. So there's
Facts.
There's a lot.
Facts.
There's a lot of great actors with a great discography, if you will. But Tom Cruise hits consistently for me. The projects do. He can be over the top, and I can hear that.
Yeah.
But overall, if you're putting on Days of Thunder, I'm watching it. If you're putting on Mission Impossible, any of them but the second one, I'm watching it. If you're putting on Vanilla Sky, I'm watching it. If you put on a Cocktail, I'm watching it. So Tom Cruise is the safest answer for me.
Well, you went the full on. I want to be entertained on a desert island.
I don't,
and you're going to be entertained.
Yes,
you'll be entertained,
and I have variety.
Yeah.
I have variety. I've got comedy. I've got old school, like 80s comedy.
Yeah.
I've got action. I've got drama. And I've got like insane stunts.
If you want a war movie, you've got Born on the 4th of July.
Yes.
You've got, Rain Man.
The Last Samurai was great.
There's a lot.
Super sleeper hit. Last Samurai was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tom Cruise.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna hold a little suspense here because I'm not gonna give you my real answer. And this is so dumb. Okay. Have you ever had the chance to meet, like, say, the singer of a band you love or something like that, and you're thinking, what if they ask me what my favorite song is? I don't want to say that song that everybody says. I want to say something that shows that I've gone deep into their album and I'm like a true fan. So I'm going to give you my second answer.
Ooh.
Okay. Because I just don't want to give an obvious one, because I think there's an obvious one.
But you're going to give the obvious one too, right?
I will reveal that
Okay.
after
Okay.
you give yours.
Oh.
Just in case it's yours.
Okay.
Because it's a
Okay.
super obvious answer.
Fair.
I think it's
Fair.
the obvious answer, but I'm going to go really outside the box, and I'm going to give you Michael Caine.
Oh.
Okay?
I like your strategy on this.
Yes.
All right. So,
That's
so like, I'm deep into I'm stuck on a desert island, and I'm going to need a lot of movies, a ton of them. The guy has been acting since like 1900. And he has done so many movies. He's done every style of movie, from comedy to, the Batman films. He's done, the Austin Powers movies, Inception, like Dunkirk. You want a war movie? It's like there's so many movies he's been in. Like, you're just not going to run out of stuff very easily. So, like, if you're going to have to keep rewatching his stuff, at least you have a huge variety.
Yes.
And, and most of them were pretty darn good. So Michael Caine is my actor.
Your silver medal.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right, Bradford.
Okay. So I'm going to give an honorable mention because I have to.
He
Okay.
did. Might as well.
And then I'm going to give my other one. So my honorable mention is Ryan Reynolds.
Ooh.
Because I just enjoy so many of his films. He's so hot right now. Okay.
So hot.
My number one answer, and while when you think about it, it doesn't have a ton of films like a Michael Caine or even like a Tom Cruise because he passed too soon.
Oh.
It's going to be Robin Williams.
Oh, what a
Interesting.
really neat choice. I like
There
that.
are so many Robin Williams films that I enjoy and absolutely love, and I can't imagine not being able to watch them. What's crazy to me is how much hate Hook gets. That is one of my favorite movies of all time.
You do you, man.
Yeah.
I love Hook.
You wave your flag
much. But
on
think
Hook
that
flag.
target for
With a
Hook.
hook.
I am that target range, which is a short range.
Right?
When you think about people plus minus 3 years from me, I think that is the target for Hook when it came out.
But it
on our developmental
boom,
years,
it got
and
you.
it just right in the feels every time. Then you have your Aladdins, your Mrs. Doubtfires, even your Good Will Hunting, Good Morning Vietnam. I mean, so many great movies that he has drama, he has comedy, he has animated voice. Ferngully, it's still funny to watch. It's not the best, but it's still fun.
Sure.
I really enjoyed Robin Williams, so I think those films I could watch over and over and over again if I had to.
That's a solid choice I didn't even think of.
I have two questions for you. The first one is, well, it's not a question. It's one statement, one question. The statement is, but you also have to get RV and all those garbage films.
I can deal.
True.
Okay.
True.
All right. Just making sure that you're
Right.
okay with
Well,
that.
no, I can deal with RV because I had a little crush on JoJo when that movie.
Okay.
came,
So there's something else.
My
in it
point
for
is,
you.
all his movies are not bangers. That's what
No,
I'm
they're
getting
not.
at.
right.
Okay.
No, you have a different strategy behind yours.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure, which I totally respect.
Okay. So the second question is, does that include his stand-up specials? Because if
Oh.
it does, I can sign off.
I
on
don't think
this.
those can be counted as films.
I don't think it can be considered
okay.
as films.
All right.
I don't think so.
As a stand-up comedy fan, I would disagree.
in my
with you,
made-up
but
world.
Well,
universe,
right, but I mean,
no.
if we were looking at, say, a Rotten Tomatoes site,
Yeah.
would his stand-up be on Rotten Tomatoes?
it might be actually.
I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out.
I don't
there.
know.
If it is
I just
included
don't know.
in a
Never checked,
site
but-
that is a database that says here's his filmography,
Okay.
then I'd say yes. If not, then I'm not going to argue it.
Okay. Fair enough.
okay.
Jim, what's your gold
Yes.
medal?
So the one that would, obviously, I think this is one everybody's been screaming. Why did you say it? Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is the go-to easy answer for this one. And there's nothing wrong with the easy answer. Like I was saying, he's fantastic. And his body of work also contains everything.
Yeah.
From comedy to the most serious of dramas and just so many great things. And he can take a super mediocre movie and make it that you care and you want to watch it. You're like, I don't know if it's going to be great, but Tom Hanks is in it. Bring it on.
It's got to be solid at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, Tom Hanks it's a go-to answer because if you look at his work, like if you look at his resume, there's like maybe 3 movies on the entire resume that are garbage. Everything else is either above average or great. It's in that range. So you're getting a lot of quality
Yeah.
in picking that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Percentage of greatness is, it's hard to match. Yeah. So tell us yours. Who would you watch all of their films if that's all you could watch for the rest of your life? You just just them. That's it. Okay. Who did we miss? We named a few people extra on top of our picks, but there's somebody out there. Like I was surprised. I was shocked, but pleasantly surprised when I heard Robin Williams. I'm like, what a great choice. Never even thought of that. Tell us what we didn't think of. You can contact us through all the socials, Untitled Film Project Podcast. Please let us know. And in the comments, attack me. Jim, in the middle, was the bitter guy who said there was a lot of great stuff in If, but attacked much of it.
Don't forget, Alan Kim sucked.
Thank you for listening to the Untitled Film Project Podcast. To support the show, please rate, review, follow, and subscribe. Original music by Jeremy Schwartz. Special thanks to the Music City Film Critics Association. Editing and post-production by Jeremy K. Gover. Voiceover by Chad Bennett.